click the link below or go straight to MrLocario.com to get the documentary Game Kings, The Definition of Game. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, MrLocario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you a quick clip from a relationship expert. Her name is Spirit. She does a lot of, good videos. She has a lot of good information on dating, relationships, stuff like that. And in this clip, she's going to be talking about, non-monogamy. You understand? And also talking about monogamy and how, monogamy, came to be in certain situations. But I want to show you this clip, and then once the clip is over, I'm going to give my opinion on this. Check this out.
Do you believe some of us are intrinsically non-monogamous, or do you see this lifestyle as a choice? Okay, so the answer to that question is yes. I believe that intrinsically some of us are non-monogamous. And I will tell you that in my PhD program, I actually did a dissertation on consensual non-monogamy among long-term cohabitating and married African-American couples. And so in doing that research, and it was years worth of research, what I learned is non-monogamy has been, in most parts of the world, commonplace. In fact, monogamy was more of a legal construct and a legal contract that many places and spaces implemented in order to, one, keep men in communities, because what was happening was you had some of the wealthier folks, the kings, the overlords, the folks that could afford to have concubines, they were taking all of the great women. And so what was happening with the men who had lesser opportunity, lesser income, lesser resources, they were frustrated by that because they wanted their own women, they wanted their own families. And so what would happen in many of these places and spaces is that they would simply leave. They'd go, well, you know what? There's no women to be had here. There's no life to be made here. I'm going to go forge out somewhere else and get my own life. And what was happening is two things. One, that meant that the labor force was gone. There were no men in order to build and sustain communities. And two, that meant also that there was no protection because there were no men to guard and protect those communities, so they were vulnerable. And so what happened in many parts of the world is that they said, okay, you know what? We have to make sure that our communities are thriving, that they're safe. And so what we'll do is we'll say, let's come up with an agreement. One man and one woman. That's how we're going to marry. That's how we're going to partner. And then over time, of course, in many areas, as religion started to spread and become a thing, what you saw is religious texts started to talk about marital unions between one man and one woman. So now not only do we have a practical reason for monogamy, but we also have a spiritual reason for monogamy emerging. It's a very interesting kind of process. But what I want you to know is the way that attraction works is simply because you make an agreement to be committed physically and emotionally to somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean from a scientific perspective, from a chemical perspective, that you'll never be attracted to anybody else. So monogamy for most people is literally an idea. It's a conditioned belief system that for the rest of our lives, and let's be real, because monogamy, we don't actually practice real monogamy. True monogamy means one sexual partner for a lifetime. Most of us are actually what is called serial monogamous. I am with one partner at a time. And as long as that relationship lasts, then I will only be sexually active or emotionally committed to you. But if we break up, then I go get another partner and another partner and another partner. So when I ask somebody, have you been monogamous? And they go, yes. And then I say, how many partners have you had in a lifetime? And they say 10. Well, that's not actually monogamous, right? But it means I am a serial monogamous. I deal with one partner at a time. So there's a very interesting perspective around this. And so what I want you to understand that there's cheating or infidelity or adultery and consensual non-monogamy. By definition, consensual means all parties are aware and in agreement. Hear that, okay? Because that's very important. All parties are aware and in agreement. And as it relates to consensual non-monogamy, it looks very different for every couple. It's just as unique as individual monogamous relationships. Sometimes it's both partners that are consensually non-monogamous. Sometimes it's just one partner who goes outside of the relationship, but the relationship is still consensually non-monogamous because both partners know. Sometimes they do it together. Sometimes they do it separately. Sometimes there's a combination. So I could talk about this all day, but hopefully that answered your question, okay? So intrinsically, you talk about how we're wired. We're animals, like part of the animal kingdom. But just remember that as it relates to what we agree to, we can agree to anything. What we feel, what we're attracted to, what we may desire, often looks very different.
So what's interesting is from what I got from this is that, monogamy was basically formed because you had a lot of guys who didn't have any game who needed monogamy to have a woman. You understand? Because all the other guys are snatching up all the women and they're like, yo, like, I need me a chick, right? Monogamy is basically for guys who don't have game. What I found interesting was she was saying that part of it was some of these guys would say, you know what? There's nothing here for me. I can't get any women here, so I'm going to leave and go somewhere else, right? What does that sound like? You understand? You got a lot of guys right now saying, oh, I'm going to go overseas and do all this other stuff because they're not able to get women here, right? And see, the whole thing is that monogamy is really for guys who need for that structure to be in place in order for them to have a chance to get a woman. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's really more so for the men, right? Because the women are like, hey, I'll be with this high value dude and I'll share him rather than even wanting to be with this other guy and he can have me all to himself. So this, monogamous structure was put into place to say, hey, look, let's get, each guy will at least have a woman there for him. So this is more for the guys who, don't have their game on point. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just interesting for me to think about, because what's funny is that a lot of guys and a lot of people just in general, they frown upon non-monogamy, but monogamy within itself is a social construct, right? And it was put together because of situations like this, right? But that's all I really wanted to say about that. I just thought that was very interesting. I want to know what you guys think. Put your comments below and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Click the link below and get your bad boy gear. Get the t-shirts, Submissive Women Are Sexy, Binary as Fuck, and I'm God to these hoes. Click the link below to get your bad boy gear today. Now, before you go, click the link below and go to badboymembership.com. Now, badboymembership.com is a place where you go to get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Listen, I know you're tired of being rejected. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of being afraid to approach women. Go to badboymembership.com. I know you're tired of not getting the women that you want. Go to badboymembership.com. Listen, I know you're tired of being alone on a Friday night. Go to badboymembership.com. Now picture this. You'll go from not getting what you want when it comes to you dealing with women to actually getting what you want, to being the guy women want to be with, women want to date, women want to have sex with. All you need to do is go to badboymembership.com, follow the steps, learn the game, implement the game, and then you will get the woman you want. Make sure you go to badboymembership.com today. Click the link below.